So welcome back to another video, guys. I thought I would do a rig rundown on our setup, the Y62 Patrol for touring. So I'll go through a few things. So why do we get the Patrol? Well, what we did was, as you probably know, or if you don't know, Tony and I retired nearly 2 years ago now. We sold everything, custom built a caravan, which is now our house. And that comes in at 3.5 tons. So we actually needed a vehicle that could A, tow 3.5 ton, and B, have a decent GCM. So before the Patrol, I had a BT50 that was fully decked out for touring, which was an absolutely brilliant setup, but overweight like you wouldn't believe. Even sitting as it was, I'm pretty sure it was around 900 kilos overweight. So we had to do it, and I guess why the Patrol, not a cruiser or something like that. Look, to be honest, we had to get something fairly quickly. The Land Cruisers, there was a fair bit of wait time on those, and the Patrol, there was actually one sitting in a yard waiting to go. So we thought we'd pull the pin and purchase it. Do I regret a quick decision? I don't think so. The towing figures probably come in pretty much the same as anyone else I've spoken to who owns a Land Cruiser towing 3.5 ton. So at the moment, touring, we're around 23 to 24 litres per 100. That's an average. So we've been on the road now for 5 months, and that's what we're currently averaging at. Now, when we're not towing, we're around 16 to 17 litres per 100, which I think is still pretty good with everything that's on the car at the moment. Yeah, and it's quite heavy. The last time I weighed it, it come in at 3.2 tonnes, so it's a heavy vehicle as it is. But no, we're very happy with it. The only thing I'm a little bit iffy, obviously, with with the Land Cruisers and a diesel, you look after those things, and the engines, you can probably get 500,000 Ks out of them if you wanted to, if you were changing the oil every 10,000, even every 5,000 oil and filters. I'm just not too sure about the petrol vehicles. Don't know about longevity. So that's probably the only thing I'm a little bit iffy at. Now, as I said, we've nearly had this car 12 months. Next month will be the 12 months. I've done just over 30,000 Ks in it. The handling of the car is absolutely brilliant. Handles really well, tows really well. It's just got power for days, especially when overtaking, going up hills, all the rest of it. I wouldn't have it any other way. Just it's just an absolute animal. Comfort-wise, brilliant. It's like sitting in a lounge chair in there. So, if you're doing long hours, doing 6-7 hour days in this thing, it's brilliant. I don't get a sore back or a sore ass or anything like that. So, extremely happy with that. I mentioned earlier, the only thing I'm a bit shitty with is just the paint. The paint on these things are super thin. So that's quite annoying, because there's quite a few stone chips on this thing. But I'll go back to Nissan when I head back to Brizzy and just figure out whether I can put a warranty claim in for that. I know on Facebook and on some of the forums, quite a few people have actually got their vehicles resprayed under warranty, so I'll see how I go on that one. But yeah, all in all, very happy. Would I recommend a Patrol? Yeah, absolutely. I know they've finished the V8s this year, and there's some people driving past, so I look like a bit of a dick sitting in the fields here filming in the middle of a vineyard. But anyway, yeah, would I recommend it? Yeah, I would. I'd definitely recommend it. But as I said today, they've gotten rid of the V8s. So I think I've got one of the last of the V8s, which is good. Hopefully they'll hold their value like the Cruisers. For some stupid reason, they hold their value. So I'm hoping this being a V8, and the last of them will hold its value as well. If I didn't mention, sorry, it's a TI model. So 2024 TI. Didn't go the TIL because I didn't want to spend the extra 5 to 10 grand on a sunroof, which probably never used, because we've got the roof rack up there, and the headrests had the entertainment system in for kids. Our kids are growing up now, so that's a waste of time for us. And I think the only other feature was the electric boot closing. You know what I mean? Like, big deal. Don't need it. You can buy an aftermarket kit if you're that obsessed with it. But you know, give yourself an arm workout closing it. No dramas at all. All right, the rear storage setup. We're gone for full bore 4B drawers. I think they're down in Melbourne. And this one here was advertised on Facebook as a special, which suited our needs. So we placed an order for that, and they shipped that up from Melbourne up to Brizzy for us. Pretty much pre-assembled, so it was a pretty easy install. Just came on a pallet for us. So they had the false floor, which was pretty easy to put in. The instructions were brilliant. Came with all the hardware as well, so that wasn't a drama. And what we opted for is a little bit extra storage at the top. They call this their pantry cupboard. So heaps of room in there. It's got some elastics on the side just to hold stuff in. But for now, while we're traveling, I've just got my camera gear in there. So I had sort of nowhere else to put it. So that's worked out really well. And then just a conventional drawer, just one massive drawer in here. At the moment, just storing bits and pieces, bits of alcohol and tools and spare bits of pieces. It's a bit of a mess at the moment. And then underneath that, we've opted for the pull-out drawer. So we wanted this one when we go away and we're not taking the caravan. You know, we go up the beach with the swags and so forth. We can cook out here. We just put the induction cooker on here. So I've got 240 volt power out the back, which is brilliant. And yeah, that just allows us to cook. So that's a great addition for us on this setup. And we got the fridge cavity just to hold the 80 litre Bushman's fridge. So it's the first time we've actually had an upright fridge. The BT50 I had before this, we just had the conventional fridge freezer. So my thoughts on this, I don't mind it. I guess the only issue I have is if you're packing cans in there, they've got to be packed really tight. Else, going on rough roads and so forth, they just rattle around like crazy. So that's probably the only thing that gives me the shits about it. But other than that, yeah, it's been a good little setup. I've maybe had 1 or 2 cans that are punctured just due to, I guess, me not packing the fridge, I guess, the way it should be. So that's, yeah, I've just opened myself up to a few issues there. And then on the front of the fridge, we've just got a bit of a map of Australia. And we're kind of just mapping out where we've been on this trip so far. So we've started off over here, near Brizzy. And we've put a gold dot just next to everywhere we've stayed along the journey. So we've travelled a fair way, all the way around. We're just down in South Australia at the moment. We're here for a few more days. We're just on a winery. Then we're just going to head up through Victoria, New South Wales and home. So just need to be home. Last week of November, just got to put the van in for a few minor issues just to get fixed under warranty. And my mum's also purchased a new van as well. So we'll pop back in Brizzy for that, and then see the kids, and then we'll head off again next year over to Tassie. So that's our rear drawer setup. Would I recommend it? Absolutely. All right, so the electrical setup in the back, I did myself here. So when I sold the BT50, I pulled out the electrics from the canopy so I could add to this build. Obviously the Patrol cost a fair bit to purchase to start with, and we needed to watch our funds because obviously we're retired and kind of need all the money we need to get on the road and live the lifestyle that we want. So in there we had the Red Arc Manager 30, which has been a blessing. That thing's brilliant. That's been going for many years now. So so that's worked out extremely well for us. Up the top here, I've just got the outlet for a solar blanket. I don't have a solar panel on the roof. I don't know whether to get one, to be honest with you. Yeah, running wires from roofs through wagons into the cars is a bit of a nightmare. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens on that one. And then over the other side there, we run the Allspark 2,500 watt Pro Series inverter, which has been absolutely brilliant. That thing handles everything. Coffee machines, air fryers, you name it. It's been brilliant. So that's tucked away neatly just on the back of that full bore 4B drawer system. So that's worked out well. The seats don't hit it when they fold down, which is brilliant. And full bore 4B, they've got a bit of a cutout in the back. If I can lift that up. Sorry, excuse my hands. And yeah, it's got the battery down in there. So we run the iTech World's 200 amp hour lithium battery. And to be honest, that is plenty for us. That's kept us going well and truly, even when I had the BT50 off-grid doing Cape York and stuff like that. That worked out extremely well. Starlink Gen 3. So I've got that up there. So that's on the Pirate Company storage rack. My mum actually had that in her Patrol, wasn't too keen on it, so I nabbed that off her. So I've got the bracket up on here. And then underneath is the 12 volt box that runs a Starlink, and I'll just run it through a system at the back here. I'll just run around the other side. So cabling for the Starlink, I haven't sussed that out yet either. It's going all right here so far, but I'm a bit worried that I might crimp the electrics. So I need to come up with a bit better solution on that one. But I run everything through this system here. So it's a control panel. Where did I get that from? Ooh, something marine. Can't remember the name of it now. But this panel pretty much runs everything for us. So GPS is actually the Starlink. So I've got that set up on there. I can turn it on and off. Auxiliary 1, so I custom made this panel down the side here for charging. So I've got a SIGGI port, then the rest of them is USB and USB-C, so I can just turn them on and off through here. So I've got 3 of those down there. Auxiliary 2 here, I've just got that on the Anderson plug here, so when I go to refill water and use the pump, I can just run it through here and use that. So that's been brilliant as well. I've got the fridge on here as well, so I can turn the fridge on and off. And interior here, I've set that up. I've actually run steady lights. So I'll pop steady lights under here. I'll tell you what, that's an absolute game changer. So I run 3 across there, and I can change the colors on those, of course. And when we're out and about, off grid, and we're cooking, I just pull that table out, as I mentioned, and put the inverter on there, and those lights are brilliant. So I've just got them set up at the moment. They can change color and all sorts of stuff, typical of Steedy, but yeah, solid product. And that's probably my best feature, to be honest, on the Patrol. That's worked out really well. And then down here, I've just got the monitor for the Manager 30, so that just gives me everything I need to know. So at the moment, 94% battery, it says 20 hours until flat. So that's been a godsend. So I'm pulling 9.8 amp hours at the moment. So I've got Starlink on. Yeah, Starlink does chew a fair bit. I was actually quite surprised because it was a pain in the ass having it on the caravan and pulling it out every time. And because we were traveling a remote too, it was just good to put Starlink in the car. So we've actually got you know, Google Maps and all that sort of stuff whenever we need it. So so we've got that set up. If I run it at night, so on the 200 amp hour lithium battery, if I have 100% and run it, we wake up with about 56% battery. So obviously that's with the fridge on and running the Starlink and having quite a few things running off it. So my mum's running all her stuff on it as well as us. So a couple of TVs, quite a few phones and stuff like that. So so if you're looking to get it, pretty good. A little bit power hungry, so I would recommend Definitely a 200 amp hour battery for that. But other than that, that's what we've got for our setup over here. I've just got an on-off button or stop-start button for the inverter, so that runs through here, and we can just plug a power into there. Then we've got instant 240 volt, so that's been good as well. Also run just this power board up here, just so I can charge drone batteries and camera batteries and so forth. So it's got USB-C, USB, and as I said, I just popped that into the Allspark 2500 watt Pro Series inverter. That's been brilliant, absolute powerhouse. So that's the electrical system. Do I need to upgrade anything? I don't think so. As I said, the only thing I might need to look at is possibly a solar panel on the roof, but I've got from My Tech World a 300 watt portable solar blanket at the moment. Seems to be doing the job when we need it. So that's it for the electrics. So we'll just go through the cab setup in the Patrol. So nothing exciting here. We haven't done anything flash or specials. You're still pretty stock standard. Do I like the wood grain? Absolutely not. Does the misses? Yes. Do I want to get that covered? Absolutely. Can I afford it? No. So down the track, I think when it gets a little bit more scuffed up, because it does scuff fairly easily, especially the chrome bits, I might get that covered. So on the dash, we just run the Garmin Overlander GPS unit. That thing's brilliant. I haven't sussed out everything that it does, but I've used it quite a few times. We've gone prospecting, and you'll actually map on there where you're heading, so you can make your way back and don't get lost, which is great. We run the XRS Connect GME 2A. I love this thing. I love the fact that you can program the top button, so if you don't actually catch what someone says, it's got a repeater on there. I think it repeats up to the last 5 things that I've said. And how have we connected this? So EC Off-Road actually make they make this holder. So what I've done is I've velcroed the magnetic holder onto here, and then this here just slides into the side and just sits there nicely. It doesn't come off, it doesn't do anything. So that's what I've done. I didn't feel like drilling into the dash at all, so that's my solution. EC Off-Roads worked really well. Up here we run the iCheck TPMS system. I only run this now for the caravan so we can monitor what the caravan tyres are doing. The Patrol has its own monitoring system for the tyres, so I just use that. And actually to monitor that, I use the Scan Gauge 3. So I'll see if I can wake this up. But I'll tell you what, if you don't have a Scan Gauge 3, do yourself a favour and go get one. This thing's absolutely unreal. All right, it's not going to wake up. Where are we? No. So what am I do? I might just start the car quickly. All right, it's going to look a little bit funky through this screen because it's flickering. I'll just turn that beeping off. There we go. So obviously the speedo's out, so I monitor the speed. Got that set through a GPS system, so that's perfect. My tyre pressures, so front left, and then the rear. That's going to turn off again. What a pain in the ass. Oh, there we go. She's back on again. And then so yeah, front left, back left, front right, rear right, trans temperature, battery voltage, coolant temp, and engine load as well. So when I tow, I actually tow in manual, but I also use cruise control as well. So I monitor the engine load. So that goes up to a parameter. When it gets to between 90 and 100, when I'm in cruise control, all I'll do is I'll flick it back a gear. So I'll sit in 5th gear, but when we're going slightly up a hill and that engine load gets up over 90, then I'll just flick it back into 4th. Then when we're good, I'll flick it back into 5th again. So that's probably the only reason why I tow on cruise control, so I can monitor the engine load, and I can make a decision on that, on when to change gears. So that's been really good. So other than that, as I said, not much done here. Oh, we did get the razor for the armrest here. We've raised it up just so our puppy can sit up here. It's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit nicer for him. Also EC Off-Roads. And that was pretty easy to install as well. It took me about half an hour. So it's got a little bit extra storage. And it's actually a nice height too when you're sitting here. It's actually quite good. And it actually comes forward as well. So yeah, that's been pretty good for us. So that's it for the interior. I don't think there's anything else to show. As I said, pretty standard. Oh, I've got the Red Arc brake controller down here. Yeah, I find that in all right position. It works well. They're pretty much set and forget anyway, so down there is pretty good. I do have a light bar on the roof, but I don't have a switch in the cab. I've actually kept the switch underneath the bonnet. The switch is turned on permanently, so when I turn the high beams on, that turns on. So that's I'll leave that like that for now. All right, on to the next one. All right, so as for wheels and tyres, we've gone for the Maxxis tyres. So they're 285 65 R18s. And as for the rims, we've gone for the ROH Assault rims. So there wasn't many to choose from for the Patrol when we got it. So this is what we went with, and I'm glad we did. They actually look really good. Yeah, excuse how dirty the vehicle is. It's just been raining non-stop down here, and as I said, we're on a winery at the moment, so there's dirt roads everywhere to get in and out. So yeah, every time I try and give it a bit of a clean. As soon as we go out, it comes up dirty again. So that's it for the wheels and tyres. As for suspension, so we went with the GVM upgrade. So EC Off-Roads down in Yatala and Brisbane, once again, they did everything for us. So we got the 3999 GVM upgrade. So with that, obviously the springs were changed as well, and we've got Airbag Man airbags in the rear to assist, because we tow 3.5 tonne as well. So we just got the manual inflation at the back. We don't have the fancy dials and everything in cab, which I wish I did have, but yeah, quite expensive for that setup. And to pump those up, we just use an Azito brand from Bunnings. It's a little handheld pump, portable pump, battery powered one. Actually, I'll get it out of the car. It just saves pulling out the big air compressor every time we go to do up the tyres. Well, let's pull this out. So this is it here. It's just the Azito handheld. I think it was like $90 from Bunnings. And yeah, I just set that and then use that to use that on there just to do the airbags up. It just makes life so much easier. As I said, I can't be bothered pulling out the big compressor all the time just to do up the airbags. So yeah, that's been a really good purchase as well. I'll just jump underneath. Yeah, as I said, it's dirty as. But you can see the airbags and the springs at the back there. So that's done really well. There's bugger all sag when we throw the van on. When we're not towing, I'll just dump the air out of the bags. I think I run them at 5 psi. And when we're towing, I'm up to max, which is 60 psi. But yeah, haven't let us down yet. It's been brilliant. As I said, 12 months on the road. No dramas. All right, so time to look at the roof. We run the Trail Max alloy roof rack. So this is a new system for us. But yeah, I love it. I rate it. It's quite good. There's bugger all wind noise. The only wind noise I get is obviously from the max tracks that I've got on here and the awning setup. But other than that, no, I love it. Absolutely love it. We run the Starlink dish on top permanently, as I've mentioned. So that's been perfect for us. Oh yeah, I just jumped down. It's up around the top there. We just run the Steedy light bar on top, which is great. But yeah, I think it looks good as well. The funny thing was, we went up to the bush company because we had to get a new bag. We had to get a new bag for this because the other one was all ripped from when we did the Cape trip in the BT50, and it's actually the first time I've seen this, the Trail Max alloy rack. So they asked if they could take some photos of it and feature it on their website as another option, because obviously a lot of people, when they ring about these awnings, they ring and ask what sort of roof rack's compatible. So that's worked out really well. So we've got the 270 degree XT Max awning from the Bush company. Absolutely brilliant, freestanding. Yeah, it's things like a bullet. So I'd recommend that to anyone if you're out there looking for a good, solid awning. Definitely the way to go. All right, so around to the front of the vehicle. Once again, everything's standard. I've got no bull bar at the moment. Not too sure if I want one, to be honest with you. We haven't had any close calls with kangaroos or anything like that. But mind you, we don't travel late afternoons either. By sort of 1, 2 o'clock, we've pulled up and we've stopped for the night. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure whether I want one yet. The only reason why I would get one is because the paint on these Patrols are absolutely disgusting. It's super thin, and you just got to touch it and it causes issues. So there's quite a few chips on the front. So that's probably the only reason why I'd get that changed out is yeah, that the front plastics are starting to look a little bit shitty. We've got the stainless steel snorkel as well. So once again, fitted by EC Off-Roads when we got the GVM upgrade done. So EC Off-Roads, they did the 3-inch exhaust for us, wheels, tyres, GVM upgrade. And they fitted, obviously, the snorkel. And because we don't have clear views on here, I didn't want to go clear views. They're quite expensive for what they are. We had to get these side running lights put in as well. So EC Off-Roads have done that for us. Side steps, I've just kept normal at the moment. I don't have any rock sliders. Will I need them? Probably not at this stage. Maybe later on down the track when there's a little bit more wear and tear on the vehicle, and I might do it, but I don't plan on doing anything sort of hardcore in the off-roading department at the moment. So I think they'll stay. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this rig. Yeah, we love it. We love it. It's worked out really well for us. It's been a great vehicle. So that's it for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll get another video out shortly. We'll be heading off to Mansfields down in Victoria, high country. We'll head down there and have a bit of a look around, and hope we don't bump into Desi Freeman. If we do, I'd love the $1 million reward. That'd be fantastic. But other than that, guys, stay safe. We'll talk to you soon.